Yeah, so welcome to another edition of the BFFisodes podcast. This is BFF episode number 26. I am Ernie Vicente, and as always, I'm here with my BFF Kevin. How are you?
Good. How about you, Ernst?
Very good, sir. This is the last episode we are filming in my parents' basement.
That's right. They're moving this weekend, right?
They're moving. Next week.
So what do you have? Are you getting all the feels?
You know what? It's a little bit, yeah, because I just watched the Friends reunion show.
I heard mixed reviews about
Have you seen
this.
that?
I heard mixed.
Did
I
you see
haven't
it?
seen it, but the people are like, they're wondering if Chandler was okay because he was kind of slurring his words. Because he has new teeth. I don't know.
Yeah. I just Googled that because I was like, yeah, what's wrong with him?
Yeah.
Why is he so quiet? Because in the show he's so loud and he has all these quick remarks, but in the reunion episode he's just all quiet. But then I Googled it and then yes, it said that he had emergency dental surgery.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know why. I don't know what happened, but
well, he was battling with like drugs for a long time.
Yeah,
I think in the earlier days of Friends, maybe that's caught up to him later on in life.
Maybe, perhaps. But anyway, so I was watching the show, and because I'm a big fan of Friends, so I love the show. So I love the reunion show, and they went back to like all the. They talked about all the memories of past shows that they liked and whatever, and at the end they showed how, like the finale and how it was like so sad, and like right after they filmed the series finale, the set had to be taken down.
Oh, okay. So that's not they didn't memorialize that set. It was actually taken down.
It was actually taken down because they had to film something else in that studio.
Gotcha.
But I guess they just recreated it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then yeah, looking back at that, like everyone was like all sad, and I'm like, oh my god. They even said they're like, oh, it's like your childhood home being like dismantled because like you're moving.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna like right now it's not really hitting me now, but I'm gonna be like, yo, next week I'm like, oh, this is the last time I'm gonna like ever have a reason to be in this neighborhood.
Right.
So
how long have you guys been there?
About 20 years.
20 years?
Yeah.
Jesus, I remember when you said that you were moving there. So it'll be 20 years. And
I think it was like 2002.
Wow.
So like maybe 19 years.
In 19 years, you've never once invited me to go to see your house.
I think that's all the time we have for this week.
But when you moved out that way, back in what year did you say that was?
I believe it was 2002.
Right. I think at that time, that part of Brampton was like, in our minds, that was like the border, and it was like so far, so out of the way, such an inconvenience that you probably just were like, yeah, forget, I'm not going to invite anybody over this way because I have to give them gas money.
Yeah, because the furthest we've ever went in our lives was probably Cliff's house.
That was Burnham Thorpe and Winston Churchill.
Yeah, we're like, that's too far. Yeah, and then because I remember the day that my dad told us like we're moving to Brampton. I was like, oh no, because we grew up in Mississauga, and we're like, oh, we don't want. Me and my sister were like, we don't want to say, oh, we grew up in Mississauga, but now we live in Brampton. Ew, gross. Because we always made fun of Brampton.
Yeah, because Brampton sucks.
Huh? Yeah.
Huh? Sorry.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
I'm kidding.
And then I was like, oh, where's the house? He's like, oh, it's Bovaird and Chinguacousy. And I was like, oh my god, Bovaird? That's like the end of Brampton.
Yeah, because Chinguacousy is for anybody who's listening that lives and knows the Mississauga streets, Mavis turns into Chinguacousy. So when Mavis ends, you've already gone too far, and you barely could even pronounce. It's like Chinguacousy.
Yeah. If you've ever been past the Steels, it's Chinguacousy.
So when you moved from the house in Mississauga, did you get those feels as well? The sentimental.
You know what? I don't think I did because that day, because that was actually my childhood home.
Yeah.
That's where I grew up. But the thing is, I remember that day that they were actually moving, the actual moving day in 2002. I wasn't even there.
Where were you?
I was, because I think at the time I was working at Burger King,
Okay.
and I was going to college.
Okay.
I was going to Sheridan College. So at the same time, I needed. I think they're cutting down my hours at Burger King, even though I was as you know, Kev, I was the manager.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. You remind us every
Shift.
single opportunity.
Shift coordinator. That was
Yes.
on my name tag.
Whoa.
So they're cutting down my hours. So I was like, I need some more hours. So I actually applied at No Frills.
The one closest to your house.
No. Well, the one it's like in Brampton. It's like Derry.
Oh, fuck. Yeah.
Derry and what was that? McLaughlin. Anyways.
Yep.
Yeah, so that one. So I applied there, and then I had an orientation. That day. So I wasn't even present when everything was moving.
But did you have movers? Like, did you hire movers?
Yeah. They hired movers.
Okay. So you didn't really need to be there then.
I didn't really, but like if I was really sentimental, I would be like, oh
Yeah.
no, I want to see this. I want to say goodbye to the house or something.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But I guess I didn't. And then, but I remember that because I went to the orientation, and then I think like the next day I had like my first shift or something, and then I quit. I quit.
So you wasted your time.
I wasted my time. Yeah. So I worked like 2 shifts, maybe like I think like I worked one day, and then the next day I worked, and then I left, and I was like, and then so then the next day I was like, yo, I miss like my childhood house moving day to go to this orientation that I didn't even stay at. So this time I'm here. This time I'll be here.
You'll be present, watching the movers.
Watching them. Sipping my iced cappuccino. Like,
I'm kind of the same way though, in terms of like just I kind of hold on to things like things that like people give birthday cards and things like that. I keep those things.
Do you?
Yeah, I keep those things in a box. Like even Frankie's stuff, I keep Frankie's stuff because I mean, one day when you're like older, they're kind of nice to look back on.
Yes.
But I remember we used to live at this condo at Highway 10 in Dundas.
Mm-hmm.
The best location ever. I love it. I love the craziness. It's like living
5 and 10.
5 and 10, baby. 5 and 10.
You live there? Oh yeah.
Yeah, on Agnes Street.
That's right.
Yeah, so we sold the house and we'd moved to our new place. And one of the conditions is you're supposed to give the keys back. You're supposed to give all the keys and the key fobs back to the real estate agent.
Yeah.
I didn't, right? Because for whatever reason. This must have been like, I want to say maybe a day or two after we had moved out.
Mm-hmm.
I went back to the apartment. Obviously, I have the key fob, so I went in, and I wanted to ask the people if I had forgotten any mail or if I got any mail.
Yeah.
I knocked and nobody answered. And then I thought, but I have a key. I wonder if it still works.
You went in.
I opened it. I just turned it and opened it. And then I just opened the door.
Yeah.
Just to see what it looked like with somebody else's belongings in there. And then I closed it.
You couldn't take it.
No. That's actually, I think it's breaking the law. That's why.
That too. Oh, Mr. Loblaws man who steals. I don't know what store.
You idiot.
You stole from.
Yeah, so I didn't enter. I just peeked my head. I was like, oh, because nobody answered, so maybe I was making sure that nobody was dead inside.
I thought it was like you opened it and you're like, oh, this isn't the place I love.
No, I opened it. I was like, this is fucking weird. So I just closed it and then I left because I was like, what would happen if I'd gone inside for whatever reason, and then they came home?
Yeah.
right? That'd be like what am I gonna say? Like, oh, I thought I still lived here. But yeah, I get those weird attachments. So where I work now is not too far from a place that I grew up in, Rathburn and Pony Trail.
Mhm.
And I find myself sometimes if I go to the grocery store, which is close by, I'll drive by the old house and I'll think about, I'm like, oh shit, remember when we smoked weed in the parking lot there, and everybody came over and slept over in the basement, kind of sort of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
But I find myself doing that, like, and even Caitlin's like, I don't know why you attach yourself so strongly to these things, because I mean they're just things.
They're
Right?
just things. Yeah.
They're just things.
I know. You know what? I was like you. Like I would keep everything, like these souvenirs.
Hmm.
You know, when you go to Vegas, I have like all these keychains
And all
from
like the nudie
Mexico.
girl
Yeah.
cards.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Those those ones. Uh, but but then as I'm moving here, I'm like looking in my drawers and like I have all this crap,
Yeah, yeah,
you know, and then I'm like, I haven't looked at this stuff for like maybe 10 years. So I'm like, these are just like things, if they don't like serve a purpose, like if you haven't used uh something in the last like 5 years, like even the clothes. I've been like throwing away clothes,
yeah.
because I'm like, if I haven't worn this stuff in like at least 5 years, then like there's no way I'm gonna need it, you know.
Oh, for sure, for sure. What was it? There was a Netflix show, and it was pretty big. It was that Asian girl, Marie Kondo, something like that. But basically, she would help people who would hoard things. And by
Oh,
doing that, she would. I think it was like one of those. Like, let's say you're getting rid of clothes.
yeah.
Instead of just throwing them in a pile, like fold them neatly, and then say, "Thank you for bringing me joy," or "Thank you for
Mm,
providing me blah blah blah, but you no longer bring me joy." And then it
yeah.
helps you kind of part ways with it. It kind of gives you closure.
Oh,
Because sometimes when you're just getting rid of this stuff, you're just like, I know I haven't worn it, but like I might wear it, or like I might lose weight and be able to wear
yeah,
that
yeah.
next summer.
I
But
have
if you
so
do that,
I
you
have so
fold it
many of those.
nicely and then you just kind of make peace with it and
That's for
say,
hoard. That's like for hoarders who don't want to let go. Is that what you're saying?
yeah. Or if I mean, I think for me, it helped a lot too when I was cleaning out my closet, because I would hang on to a lot of clothes. Like, oh, hey, I got this at Blue Notes, and they don't make them like this anymore. So I
Yeah,
should
yeah,
use it. It doesn't even fit me. It
yeah.
doesn't even fit me. So, when you do that, you fold it up, you say, thanks for giving me whatever. See you later. Give joy to somebody else. Kind of helps with letting go, I guess.
Interesting. Yeah, we had like a lot of clothes. I think because during the pandemic, before you can just call um, Goodwill and they would pick
Mm-hmm.
it up from your house,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't do that because of the pandemic. And so now we had to find like those clothing donation bins,
Yeah.
and then a bunch of them have been like locked because of the pandemic.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people were just putting because nobody had anything to do except clean their house, and they would just leave useless shit there outside,
Yeah,
and then obviously that just creates more of a problem for them.
yeah. So we had like so many bags of like just garbage bags of clothes
Hmm.
because we were just throwing it. We were just like donating everything, and I was like, where am I gonna put all this stuff? And then finally, I found a bin in Brampton, and then so I went I did like 10 trips.
10?
Yeah, there's
Oh
so many bags,
shit!
and plus I was so bored. I had nothing to do.
Oh, so it wasn't. Were you taking like one bag at a
One bag
time?
at a time. I was like, I had to. I just made a bag right now. Like, oh, I gotta go. I gotta go.
Ernie, there's nothing in that bag. I gotta go, Mom. I gotta go.
That's why, like, yeah, even like this week, I was like, oh, I could. It's so nice. I'm gonna go back downtown and just stay
Yeah,
there. But like, wait a minute, no,
this is the
it's the
last.
last week.
Yeah,
It's gonna be hard um, to get used to because I'm always used to like, oh, if I'm downtown, I still have like my basement apartment here.
right.
Then now it's like it's gone. I'm like, hey,
Or even as simple as you kind of just want a home cooked meal,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
And now you gotta go pretty far to get that home cooked meal.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bring you down.
It's all right.
Do you think you're gonna cry? Like not cry, but like tear?
I don't know. I don't think. Well, because I already like moved out, kind of.
Yeah.
So I think I cried already. Did I tell you that story? Did I tell this? Did I tell the story?
You might have.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if I made the final edit.
It might not have.
Yeah,
it might be on the cutting room floor.
Yeah, it didn't make didn't make the final cut. We have so much gold on the on the.
It's hard to pick and choose, guys. Sometimes you just don't know.
We have so much gold that we try to fit in these 20-minute episodes. No, but the first time I moved out, I lived with remember Henry?
Oh
Henry
yes,
Roxanne
and
and Big Kevin. So that day, the day that I was moving out, because I'm like, I don't need a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? That's why, like, when I moved out, I could just put everything in my car and get out.
Yeah.
Because all you need is like some clothes, laptop, TV, and I think that's it. So I packed everything in the car. So all my clothes, my laptop was in the car, but the last thing I had was my TV.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay, well, the last thing I'm going to put it is the TV. So I'm going to get the TV, put it in, drive off. So I go upstairs, get the TV, and then I hear my mom downstairs. And I was like, because this is like late. This is like 11 p.m.
Yeah.
I was like, why is she still awake? I'm like, oh no, she's gonna like see me off. Like, oh no.
She's like making you sandwiches and stuff like that for the 5-minute ride.
It was a 20-minute drive back to Mississauga. So I'm carrying this TV down the stairs, and then my mom's like waiting at the door. I'm like, oh no, and she's like, okay, bye, and knock. I'm like, oh no. I'm like trying to shield my tears behind the TV with the TV. And then looking at my mom.
Was she crying though?
I don't think so. I'm not sure. Maybe she was, but I just couldn't look. Like,
so when you told her initially that you were leaving, I mean, obviously you didn't spring it on them like last minute. They had some time to adjust. When you told them initially, how did they react?
I think they were okay with it because I was already like 20. Was it 27, 20?
Yeah,
8. Yeah, so I was already older,
right?
Because and plus, like, my sister, she moved out when she was like younger than me.
Mm-hmm.
I think by the time she was 28, she was like married.
Yeah.
So that's all. They're like, but my mom didn't want me to go. My dad was like, yeah, whatever, yeah.
Yeah, because you and your mom are close, right?
Yeah.
So what was it that brought the tears on as you were leaving? Was it just like the nostalgia of like, oh, this is probably the last time of me living here that I'll walk through these doors and say goodbye to my mom, kind of thing?
Yeah. Because it's like a little bit of your childhood. Because you're like, oh my god, this is it. Like you're kind of growing up now at 28. This is. I'm an adult now.
It's time. It's time.
Oh, so check this out. I don't think I told this part. So it was a Monday because it was. I remember it now. It was my birthday weekend, civic long weekend, and spoiler alert, there was no surprise party that weekend.
It was that weekend.
No. So the Monday, I get to the house and I don't know where everyone was. Like, was there Henry, Roxanne, and Big Kev? They weren't home. No one was home. So it was just me. So I bring in my stuff, whatever, right? And then I go downstairs to watch TV. And so Mondays, what do we like to watch on Mondays?
Wow, we used to like watching Monday Night Raw when it was good.
Yes, when it was good. Yes, so Monday Night Raw, the wrestling show, and that was like the tradition. Every Monday we'd watch whatever. Right, so I sit down in the living room in the house, in the new house, and I turn on TSN, and it says, "Oh, you are not subscribed to TSN," and then I was like, okay.
What have I done?
What have
What have I
I
done?
done? And I ran back to my parents' house.
Mom, can you put the sheets on my back on my mattress, please? And do you have channel 30? Do you have TSN still?
Can you tape it?
So you sat there.
I sat there. I was like, oh no.
So what'd you end up doing?
I couldn't watch it.
What did you do though?
I think I didn't go back home. I think I just went upstairs or something just to unpack. But
I can see you just lying on your bed and there's like one single tear
No.
like just coming down. Like, fuck, what did I do?
No.
Did you guys end up getting a decent cable package at the new house?
I don't think we got no. We didn't have cable.
Mm.
We never got cable.
So you never watched Monday Night Raw?
I don't think I ever. Yeah, I never watched it until I found some other ways on the internet to find it.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
there you go. No regrets.
No regrets. Yeah.
How long did you live there for?
Not that long. It was like a year.
So living with, and again, everyone, I'm sorry if we've talked about this because we may or may not have. After this many podcasts, you just don't know what you're talking about anymore. But
Let me
living
check the
with
cutting room floor.
living with your parents and your family obviously is one thing. That's an easy dynamic to like. You grow up living with them. Living with friends is different, though. I can imagine that there are. There's got to be things that kind of annoy you or your roommates that you do. Did that ever come out in the FAC household?
The FAC house. You know what? People told me about that before. They warned me. They're like, oh, if you move in with your friends, it's not gonna end well.
Yeah.
You know, even working with your friends. You know, because like there's like different like work ethics and work ethic. You know what I mean? Like people have different work ethics.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then people like they live. You know, because you don't know like how they live, like how they are.
Right.
You know what I mean? So then you find like these little things. But like, with these guys, I actually like there was no like major complaints. Like I don't think there was anything because everyone cleaned.
Yeah.
You know, like they cooked for me. You know, I couldn't really complain about anything.
So there was never any like house meetings with like, hey guys, we gotta help out a little bit more. Like everyone was always pulling their weight kind of thing.
Yeah. Even like the house I moved in when I first moved downtown.
Yeah.
Same thing. I lived in a house with there's 4 of us, so I moved in with 3 other comedians, and so the house like if someone didn't do like the dishes, we had one roommate that was like the kind of like the head of the house. So like when rent was due, we would just pay him, and then he would pay the landlord.
Okay. Yeah.
So he was like kind of like the head of the house. So he would be like, oh,
the dad or the mom of the house.
Yeah. So he would be like, oh, internet's due. Send me $20 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And all right, cool. So if something was happening, like if someone didn't take out the garbage or do the dishes, he would just in the group text, he would just say, hey, there's some dishes in the sink. You know, can you please clean them? So it's like, you know what I mean? So he's not yelling at anyone, or
he's like the
whatever.
accountability partner, like the guy, like, hey guys, you know, whoever's turn it is, can you do that?
Yeah. So like I had no problems with any of those guys, you know.
Never any fights within, like, especially, I mean, with our close friends, I get that there's no arguments, but I mean within the comedian house, the laughter house, there was never any blow-ups, never any like
No,
guys.
it was always like pretty chill because like they're all comedians, like so we're all, you know, everyone's like drunk every night, and you know, so it's always like fun, nothing really crazy.
But now you're at a point where you don't want a roommate, you want to just go solo.
Yeah, I think it's time, like, because like we're like older now, you know.
Like even one roommate.
Well, I have
Like
one
I'd say,
roommate right now.
no, I mean like where you move to next, or you're saying that you wanted to look for a condo or something like that. You're not looking for a roommate in that sense. You
No.
want to do that one.
Oh yeah. Well, I want to try living
Yeah.
at least like for a year, just like by yourself. Just see how it is.
I will say though, it is a nice feeling because when I first moved out on my own, it's like it's that everything's yours, like But then when the novelty wears off of like, oh cool, people can come over anytime they want. I
Yeah.
can smoke inside this house or whatever it is. When the novelty wears off and like the bills start coming through,
Mm-hmm.
and you're just like, oh fuck. It gets a little or not frustrating, but it gets a little tight. Like the wallet gets a little tight.
Wait, so the first time you moved, or you lived by yourself, was that Lakeshore?
Mm-hmm.
The no
Lakeshore and
rules.
Kipling. Yes,
No
no
rules,
rules.
right?
No rules.
Yeah.
No.
I
I
like
didn't
that
live by
place.
myself for very long because then Kaiser came along
Kaiser
and he
moved,
became
yeah.
the roommate. But again, there were some tough times too. Like even with Kaiser and myself. At that time, I had a new car, and I was paying, I think like $300 a month. I had so many tickets at the time for seatbelt that my insurance was like, I think it was like over 500
Yeah.
a month. Right. Then you got to pay your rent. Now back then, that place for like a 1-bedroom was, I think 700.
Ooh.
But then on top of everything else, it adds up. And I remember when Kaiser and I were living together, there were times where we were short,
Mm-hmm.
and then the landlord would come,
Yeah.
and he would come knocking on the door. And there was one night where we knew we were short, and then we hear a knock on the door. I'm like, fuck. So Kaiser and I would just, lights go off, and it's just silence.
Oh my god.
And all you hear is just, and then wait. And it just didn't stop fucking. He didn't stop. He didn't leave. He didn't want to leave. And they're like, fuck. And I think it must have been about 15 minutes of just constant knocking that I was like, Kays, fuck it. Let's just open the door and tell him like we don't have the money.
Yeah.
You open the door. It's fucking you. It was you. You wanted to come by for a cigarette.
Oh wait, how come I didn't call?
I don't know. You
Oh.
might have been like, because we would do that. No rules was no rules. You didn't have to call. You could just come, and then if you can get in, you can do whatever you want in the house. It was a community house. It wasn't like it was mine, and we never treated it that way. So that's probably why you just came. You might have been in the area or whatever.
No, I remember because I worked at CIBC or whatever in Mississauga.
That's here, Ontario, in the 401.
Yeah. So and I lived in Brampton at the time, but I think during that time, they started having these the smoking laws, where like you can't even smoke inside.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't smoke inside anymore because we used to smoke at like Tim Hortons or whatever. So they started having they started implementing that law.
Ooh, your Sheridan College degree's coming out, Ernst.
I didn't want to use any big words today, but they started implanting these laws, and this law stated that thou shalt not smoke outside or inside. So I remember I would go after work. Instead of going home north, I would go south just to go to your house, just to smoke in the house because it was like winter.
Yeah, it was cold. It was cold.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember that night. I remember just that feeling of just like I never wanted to get in that spot ever again. Of like if you're living somewhere and just that financial like unsureness kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I was just like, oh, because that was the worst feeling ever. I like literally felt you brought this reference up before, but it was like the like the Will Smith in The Pursuit of Happiness.
Oh yeah, you're in the
Right? Like
washroom.
only like the person's just trying to get inside to use the washroom, but in my scenario, it's like the landlord looking for his money. He just kept knocking on the door. It was
And
like,
then you're holding K's. Like,
yeah.
You're in the jungle, right? You're in the jungle.
Shh, Kays, shh, it's
jungle,
okay.
we're in the jungle.
It's okay. He's gonna go away soon. It's okay. We'll make the money. We'll make the money. You're an idiot.
Kev, is it over?
Soon. Yeah, that was a scary night. After that, we made sure that we were on time with payments. We didn't stay too much longer after that, I think.
No.
Because I think Kaiser moved back in with his family, and then what did I do?
I think you moved back with your mom.
Yeah, I moved back because we were moving back to Pony Trail, like Rathbun and Pony Trail. So it was a bigger space. So I was like, yeah, screw this.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's a lot. We got a lot this week. Gold. I think all of it gold. I think I'm going to edit this. I'm not even going to edit. I'm just going to put it out there.
What are we at right now? What are we at? Where are we?
We're at 36. We're at 36.
Oh, screw it, Ernst. Let them have 36. Give them 36. What else are they doing anyway?
That's right. That's right. So hopefully the 23 loyal weekly listeners enjoy this episode.
We love you guys. Before we go, though, quick shout out to Daryl Pasek for a very good show recommendation. He told us a bunch of episodes ago to watch Yellowstone.
Yes. And I have not watched it.
It's really good.
Really?
It's really good. Yeah.
Kevin Costner.
All I want to do now is be a cowboy and dress like a cowboy.
Kevin Costner.
And the other guy, there's one other guy that's in there. What was he in? He was the redhead guy from Dazed and Confused.
Oh, Judge Reinhold?
No, not Judge Reinhold. No, I might be even quoting the wrong movie. But anyway, you when you get the chance, once you pass all the other ones that you're watching, Yellowstone is a really good one. Okay. There's only 3 seasons out right now, so.
All right, fine. Yeah, I was looking for another show to watch.
Yeah, it's good. It's not funny. It's definitely action drama.
All right, okay. I'll check it out.
Thanks, Daryl.
Thank you, Daryl, our number 1 fan.
Yes, sir.
And with that, we can say goodbye. This has been a fun episode. Please, follow me on the internet at Ernie Vicente. Kevin.
You can find me on Instagram at Kevvarius, KEVVARIAS.
Yes, and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and
everything else that you can catch our podcast on.
All right, cool. Okay, all right. We'll see you again. I'll be downtown next week. Downtown.
Toodles.